Hola, hola, amiga. I don't know about you, but I did not start 2023 with the whole, this is my year. This is going to be the best year ever because, last time I did that, the world shut down. But I definitely came into this year, with intentions for growth and personal development and for the next version of me. That is exactly what the universe delivered. This has been an amazing year for me on a lot of levels. It's been a year of transformation, which I'm going to share with you in a minute, and how my business and coaching is pivoting as a result of this transformation. And honestly, I'm here for it. I love it. I love change. I love growth. And yeah, so I'll share about that in a little bit. But before I jump in, I want to let you know that on December 3rd, I will be celebrating the 1 year anniversary of this podcast. And I cannot believe it's been a year. I cannot believe the growth that this podcast has watched me go through. It just has been an incredible ride. So it's my podcast's birthday in a couple of weeks, and I'm celebrating with a 30-minute Midlife Inner Makeover Giveaway. This is an energy clearing with intuitive guidance. I've added the link to the show notes, and you will also find it on my Instagram bio at Modern Latina in Midlife, so that you can enter to win this session, which is a $125 value. But stay tuned and listen to the end of the podcast to learn what you need to do to qualify and how to earn additional entries. So, as I was sharing, 2023 has been an incredibly transformational year for me. It started, and I know I've shared this on the podcast before. It started back in the spring when I received a message, a download. I heard a voice that told me, "You are meant for more." And that was it. It was a whisper. And I jumped on that opportunity. I knew it was my intuition, my higher power speaking to me. And I decided to jump into coaching. It was something I had already been thinking about. And I took that course, and I've shared that transformation. I've shared that journey here, finished the coaching, started getting clients. But I knew I was still growing. I knew it was still pivoting. I just didn't feel complete. It just didn't feel like, okay, this is where I've landed. And as I've worked with clients and continued my growth, it's certainly pivoting. One of those pivots, and I shared that as well on the podcast in previous episodes, are my spirit guide reading. That very first spirit guide reading I had with Jessica Rachel was incredibly transforming. And she picked up on things, she picked up on the fact that I'm a healer, that I'm an energy healer, which is something that I had put aside, thinking, okay, this is just too woo-woo. It's people think I'm weird. It's not well accepted. But it's who I am. And it's honestly, it's been who I've been, a healer in every lifetime, just about every lifetime I've had. And I will continue to be a healer in future lifetimes as well. So I'm going to embrace it. And I really love it. I really feel like I am in my true essence when I am doing healing, energy healings, energy clearings. Because I see how it serves people, the transformation that happens to them. And also when I'm healing others, I'm also healing myself. It is the weirdest thing, but I'm loving it. So through the process of this transformation and just being open to where spirit is guiding me to, I finished my coaching certification. And then Jessica Rachel, my psychic medium who did my spirit guide reading, opened up a mastery program, an intuitive power mastery program to help us further basically learn to speak to our own spirit guides and our higher power and our angels and loved ones and so on and so forth. And since I was already getting a lot of downloads, especially during healings for people, I was already channeling in a way. I just thought, you know what, I'm going to jump on this. I got really excited. It felt like a hell yes to me. And I thought, here I am trying to trust my intuition. And I always say, okay, how does it feel in my body? If it's not a, you know, if it's not a hell yes, then it's a fuck no. And this one was a hell yes. I thought, you know what, I got to do it. I got to do it. And I joined, and it's really has been, again, another amazing journey, amazing experience. And so as I've been practicing and as I've been studying and as I've been working with people and coaching, the energy healing piece comes in all the time. I can't help it. It's like I see, okay, there's a block, let's work on it. And I do it through energy healing. And it has been a beautiful piece to add to the coaching program that I've been doing, the 90-day coaching program that I have with my clients. And I'm just being pushed to do more healing. That's what my spirit guides are telling me and guiding me to do. So the coaching is, so my coaching program is going to be pivoting again. As I've learned these new things and as I've seen what's working and what people need and want from me the most, it's, I don't want to say anybody can coach, but really anybody can coach. But this is a gift that I have. And so I'm going to share it more in my coaching. And this is what I have seen has created the biggest and quickest transformation in my coaching with my clients. So it's going to be pivoting. So like I mentioned, my spirit guides are pushing me to do more energy healing again. And they just keep calling me out on it. And each time I have a reading, even with like the other participants in our cohort in this class, they all keep picking up on the fact that I'm a healer and this is what I need to be. This is what I'm here to do. And this is how I'm here to serve in this lifetime. What I have found when is that I am an open portal, especially when I'm doing energy healing. I channel during healings. And if you've ever had an energy healing with me, you'll know that when I send you the healing notes after the healing is done, because we do it remotely, and we don't do it live on Zoom. We schedule the appointment. I send instructions, and you on your end prepare for it, and I on my end do the healing. And then afterwards I send a recording with healing notes. And many times I get downloads and messages for them. So I've become this portal of from what I've understand and have come to learn, is that I have this like big open portal on my crown chakra. And people, spirits, loved ones that want to deliver messages find my portal easy to find because it's so wide and bright. So they come in and give me these messages for them. And so it's kind of, I kind of become a medium as well. So what I have found now that I'm doing more energy clearing live one-to-one on Zoom with my clients, and I open myself up to receive messages and downloads and to be able to provide that intuitive guidance, what I'm finding is that a lot of times I'll be doing the energy clearing with my client in front of me on Zoom. And I remember the first time this happened, I wasn't getting any messages, any signs, I couldn't hear anything, see anything. I was getting no downloads. And I finally said, okay, I'm not hearing anything. I'm not seeing anything. And I finally asked her, I said, are you hearing anything? And she said, yes. Yes, my grandmother is here and she's telling me this and this and that. And I was like, hallelujah. I couldn't believe myself. So, and this was at the very, I think this might have even been before I began this intuitive mastery program. And so as I have been practicing now with the other members in my cohort and speaking to my spirit guides and my medium, they're like, this is actually what you're here to do. You're actually a medium, which means that the way she explained it to me is that I become an open portal so that spirit guides and in messages and their higher power can communicate with my client through me. However, they're delivering the messages directly to them. And in a sense, I am activating my clients' intuitive abilities. I am activating their gifts. And most of the people that come to me already have a gift. I mean, for somebody to be open to energy healings and clearings and come in with a completely open mind, there's usually something already, a gift already that they have inside. In fact, we all have it, but it might be a little bit more activated in them. People that don't believe in this stuff obviously don't come to me for energy clearance. They're like, well, yeah, whatever. I ain't going to waste my time on this. And that's okay. That's fine. They're not there yet. But for those that I've been working with, what I'm finding is that I activate them. I activate their intuitive power. I activate their ability to see and hear their loved ones, to get messages directly from their higher soul, from their spirit guides. And it has been a really beautiful experience. And that's what I'm here to do. This is how I am serving people. So let me let me share with you what happened in my energy clearings. So what we do is we ground first, of course, with meditation. And then I scan their body. I scan their body from top to bottom. And usually my hands will either go to the spot that needs attention, or when I scan from top to bottom, I will feel where the energy feels the heaviest or where there's a blockage. So when I hit that blockage, when I hit that energy block, when I hit that heaviness, then I let them know, okay, this is where I'm feeling the heaviness. And I keep my hands there. I keep my hands doing the work, facing my palms to that particular area. And this is, I'm pulling energy in from, what I used to think was the air and this prana from the earth and from the air, and it is. But what I've also found is that I have this ability to also channel an angelic energy. So whatever it is, I pour that energy into them to start to kind of help. The way I see it is kind of almost like massage that blockage, to start kneading at it and to start like loosening it up. That's how I envision it in my head. It starts to kind of break up, like breaking up the particles. But for my clients, what happens is I'll tell them, okay, this is what I'm feeling. Do you feel it there? Usually they feel it. Oh my gosh, yes. Let's say it's in the throat. They're like, yes, I feel this heaviness in my throat, like I can't swallow, or I felt like something's holding my neck, like somebody's got their hands around my neck. It just, everybody has a different feeling of what this feels like. But then I start going through, okay, what does it feel like? What does it look like? They identify, not me. I'm just becoming a channel. I start asking them questions about, what is it? Who is it? What is this blockage doing? What is it doing? It's usually protecting them from something. Sometimes it's fear. Sometimes it's some sort of resistance. Sometimes it's an old memory that they've repressed. And so once we identify it and we get to the root of it, we start working with it and get to the root of where that blockage was created. Many times it goes back to childhood. Most of the time it's somewhere around 7, 8 years old. Sometimes it's a teenager, 13 to 16 years old. Sometimes it's 20-year-old, but most of the time it is something that was developed in that age, at least for our first session. So we work with it. We work on it until it disappears. And sometimes even just naming it and talking about it and talking to it, it's like poof, it just kind of disappears, like this little energy ball, just like poof. It feels like that sometimes, like it just like disappears. And it's so beautiful. And sometimes it just falls off and it's just like, oh, there it is. But what is beautiful, yes, this is work. This is work. My clients are doing the work. I'm just here to facilitate and activate that piece in them. But it's my clients that are doing the own work on themselves. And that's the beauty of it, is that I don't need to tell them, okay, here you go. Here's your magic pill. Here's the magic clearing. It's disappeared. It's gone. Go on with your happy self. No, 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 no. When my clients work with me, we're working together. I'm activating. I'm their medium. I'm the channel, but they are doing the work. And that's what's beautiful, because they themselves identify where this blockage occurred, where they created a limiting belief, where they're getting the resistance from. They know and see exactly where that was developed. And when that happens, it's like, oh my gosh, when they say there it is, or the tears start coming out, I mean, sometimes they're like, I cannot believe, I can't believe that I'm identifying this. I had forgotten about that, or this has been on my mind for so many years, and I didn't know. I wanted to get over it, and I couldn't. Now I understand better, and it just really is magical. It's a magical experience to watch. So here's what some of the people that work with me tell me. For example, they may say, or many times, okay, so many times I identify where the blockage is in the body, but sometimes they come to me. Sometimes they come to me and say, you know what, I've been having this resistance around this issue, around, let's say I'm having this resistance around, doing the work, or, showing up on social media or whatever. They come to me with a certain issue that they want to work on, a certain limiting belief that maybe they've already identified, or they're like, I don't know why I can't attract a soulmate, or, whatever it is. So here, let me give you some examples. Example one, client came to me and she was saying, I'm experiencing procrastination around sharing my gifts and talking about them to people, talking about it on social media, and I don't have to promote myself. And I'm just having this resistance. So we did the work. We started working with her, and we found that the block was in her stomach. And so we worked through it and we identified it. What she saw was herself as a 13-year-old alone at school being bullied, because she is different and because she has these other special gifts. And sometimes when we have these gifts as kids and we try to talk about it and we think everybody's like that, we very quickly find out, no, we're different. And so we learn to shut it down. And there goes one layer that starts covering us up. So for her, this bullying was putting layers over her. It wasn't allowing her to show up authentically, because then these girls were bullying her and she was alone and she had no friends. And my gosh, as a teenager, hell, as a human being, period. But as a teenager, we all want to be accepted. It's a human, it's a human characteristic. Just by being human, we are meant to be in community. So of course, not being accepted, especially as a teenager, you don't want to be different as a teenager, because we get bullied. And that was her experience. And she was able to see herself in that moment. And oh my gosh, the minute she saw it, tears started coming out. She was like, there it is. There it is. Oh my gosh. There it is. She goes, these girls dulled my shine. These girls shut my shine down. They shut down my spark, and I've been covering it up for 30, 40 years. And this is the resistance. This is why I'm procrastinating on sharing my gift, because I'm afraid of shining and stepping into my power. And so we were able to peel back that layer that kids society has put on her and start working on that and release that blog. And she told me the next day that she, like, just freely and super easily, in a very flowy, organic way, was sharing her gifts and what she's doing now. She does energy healing as well. She's Mother Earth energy healing is what she does. And she does beautiful work, and she has this beautiful ability to see through timelines, past, present, and future. And so can you imagine trying to share that as a child, as a teenager? No. And for many adults even today, it's like, all right, whatever. I see it. I hear it when I talk about this stuff, the eye rolls. I get it. And I'm okay with it. Whatever. You're not there yet. That's fine. But so that's the beauty that we were able to do in that particular instance. And then there was another example of a client that I just worked on this week. She was feeling a fear of rejection. She says, I don't know why this whole week lately, I've just been having this fear of rejection has been showing up. So I scanned her body, and there was some heaviness in one area, and I was going to start working on there. And she was like, no. She goes, I'm feeling it in my throat. I'm feeling it in my throat. She's like I can't swallow. And I'm like, okay. So I went to the throat. But see, this is the thing. I can feel the energy and what I felt, the heaviness in a certain area. But through my activation, she's able to tell me, no, I'm feeling it over here. Okay, great. Let's go work there. So we started working there, and we started working on it, and it was very dense and very heavy. And we started working on it and diving deep. And oh my goodness, we worked on it for an hour, but it goes by so fast, let me tell you. And when we came out of it, of course, she was in tears, and it was, this memory of her as a child, like a 7-8-year-old, trying to give her dad a gift because he was leaving on a trip. And he wasn't able to accept it at that time. And from that point on, this woman has been fearing rejection. That one instance that to maybe adults or to the naked eye can feel like, okay, not that big of a deal. Move on. It happened. It's okay. To her, she has carried that in her body all these years. And that's the thing about these emotions and these memories, is that they get stored in the body. And unless we work on it and identify them and learn how to release those blocks, they stay there for years, and they affect the way that we live our lives and show up in this world. So we identified that, and it was an hour, like I said, an hour session. And she was just like, wow, I just did not know we were going to go there. I didn't know we were going to dive this deep. And beautiful. So I think this might have been yesterday. So I still have yet to hear how she has been able to process this, because the beauty of this work is this is where we dismantle it. This is where we identify it. But between now and the next time I see her, which is next week, because she's in my 6-week program that I will talk about in a little bit, she will have time to process. There's homework. Her work is not done. She did work during this 1 hour, but the work continues. And this is what they mean by doing the work, by the way. It will continue to process. It'll continue to leave her body that blockage, that energy that we cleared. And she'll have time to to integrate into this new person, this new elevated person of her, without this blockage that she's been carrying around of fear of rejection. She said that although she did tell me that this has been a story that has been present for her, in her for decades, and that she has constantly, regularly told herself, just move on, like get over it already. It happened. And she did say it finally feels lighter. And she felt it too. When I felt it disappear and shrink, that blockage, she felt it too. So I'm curious to hear how she integrates through this in the next week. And for a third example, this is something not so deep, but also very powerful. I was working on a client a few years ago. A few days ago. And she said, just scan me and see what comes up. Okay. So I started scanning her and I felt heaviness and shoulders. And then there was a little bit of heaviness in several areas, but I went back to the chest area. I said, there's something happening in the chest. It's not heavy. And it felt like a depletion. Like my hands kept going down a little bit, like pressing down. I said, it feels like a depletion. Something's up here. What's going on? And she says to me, oh my God. She says, I've been breastfeeding my son, and lately it seems like he's not getting enough. Like he's always hungry and cranky. She says, I think my milk is depleting. I don't think he's getting enough. And so I kept doing the clearing on her, with my hands, doing the energy work on her chest. And she said, I just heard a voice. I just heard someone tell me I need to give him protein because he's not getting enough for me and my milk is drying up. And that's not as deep, obviously, as all these blockages and reflections that the other two clients had, right? But for her, it was like, oh my gosh, this is the answer. Something that she hadn't been able to figure out on her own. It's been happening for a couple of days with her baby. And, she got the answer. I didn't have to tell her, hey, your spirit guides are telling you this and that. No. She heard it herself because I have that ability to be a medium for people and activate that in them. And she was just eternally grateful. She's like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I know exactly what to do now. So that was really cool and really amazing. But that's the thing. I scanned her body and my hands went to what needed attention in that moment. She was open to it. She was like, just scan my body and work on what needs the work. And that's what she needed to receive. That's what she needed to hear from her spirit guides. And here's the thing. When I start my energy healings, in my grounding meditation, I call in my clients' spirit guides, their angels, archangels, their healed loved ones, ascended masters, my healing guides. I call in our support team, and of course I call in protection as well. But they arrive, and many times I call in specific people depending on what we're working on that day, or not people, but guides. And sometimes I don't know who to call in, right? So I just call in their entire spirit guide team and everybody shows up. And then whatever comes up, it's like, all right, let's call in the spirit guide that's going to help us with this. And so it's this beautiful experience that we create. It's not me doing the healing. I mean, I facilitate it, of course, but I become a channel for them. And there are times when they are not open or fully aware or accepting of the fact that they can hear it or that they can receive. I've had that experience before. It's like, I don't hear anything. I don't know. I said, okay, fine. I will channel the messages for you. And so then in that case, I said, spirit guide, speak through me. What does she need to know? What do I need to tell her? And then they'll start telling me and I'll start delivering the message. And then as we move on, then they start hearing it. Oh my gosh, yes, I hear it. I see it. I'm getting this. I'm getting this message. I'm like, yep, exactly. I'm getting the same thing. Or if I start telling them, they're saying this, they're saying that. She's like, they confirm it for me. They confirm it's like, oh yes, I hear it. I feel it. Or yes, you're spot on. This is, like, hey, I think you have a space in your backyard that you can use for, like helping them resolve a problem. They're like, oh my God, I do have this extra space in the back. I can use that to XYZ and help me with the situation. It's unbelievable. So that's how I've been working lately, and how I am discovering that by working with clients face to face, quote unquote on Zoom, virtually, we're able to have that back and forth communication where I can say something's happening on your chest. If I had done this healing long distance, while they slept in their house, and I did it in my, in my studio, and then I gave them healing notes at the end, I would have said something like, yeah, and something's coming up in your chest. Yeah, there's something there. Um, maybe you need to make an appointment, maybe you need to, something's happening there, have it taken a look at. And that's as far as I would have been able to go. But now that I'm doing these healings on Zoom face to face, then we're able to have this back and forth conversation. It's like, okay, it feels like a depletion. And the more we talk about it, the more messages come through, and the more it starts feeling, I get confirmation on my hands. If it's a yes, and I get the confirmation in my hands, they start tingling. It's like, yes, yes, yes. Or sometimes I get this full body tingle, and that's like spirit guide saying, hell yes, you got it, girl. um, and we have the ability to have this back and forth to really get down to the nitty gritty of the issue at hand, to truly do the deep work. Having said that, what I'm focusing on now in my coaching business is helping women like you to peel back all those layers that society has placed on you. And I've been saying this from the time that I started my coaching. But what has been becoming clear to me is that I'm helping to peel back those layers with energy clearing, one layer at a time, one issue at a time, one limiting belief at a time, one repressed memory at a time, removing one block at a time, diving deep to do the work on that block at the root of where that started, so we can truly take care of it. It's kind of like when Western medicine, right? We're not just slapping a Band-Aid over it with the pill. We are doing holistic work here. We're doing functional work of getting to the root cause so that we can fix the root cause and alleviate that problem forever, instead of just slapping, not that they're not, effective, but instead of just slapping affirmations over it and thinking that we're going to get to the root of it. Sometimes we can't. Sometimes we can reprogram our subconscious with affirmations, but sometimes we really need to do that work on it, right? To like pull it out. What I've been told when I've done these, the thing is that it's so effective. It's so fast. We get to the root of it within an hour, sometimes even less. One time with a client, I was working with her, and she said, it took 5 minutes. She said, oh my God. She said to me, she goes, I've been going to therapy for 5 years around this, and you did for me in 5 minutes what 5 years and thousands of dollars in therapy has not been able to do. That is the power of this energy, of doing this work. And it is so immensely gratifying to be able to help women in that situation, to remove those blocks. What happens in these energy clearings and diving deep, sometimes we do work on the inner childhood stuff, the inner adolescent. Sometimes we work on, repressed memories that reawaken, because they have to be reawakened, because they're still living on our body. The body keeps score. So they're there. We've just repressed them. We have to reawaken them and heal them. Sometimes it brings up generational trauma, stuff that's been passed down to us, limiting beliefs that have been passed down to us from our parents or from other people, a comment that someone made. Sometimes it shows up as past life wounds. And then there's, the societal programming as well. So by removing these blocks and peeling back all the layers, we start to allow you to start to shine in your true essence, and to start showing up as your true self, as your authentic self. Can you imagine peeling back all those layers to reveal your true essence, your true spark that was potentially shut down so many years ago? with all these limiting beliefs and roles and layers that we've been putting on ourselves in this lifetime since we were born. So we reawaken that spark inside of you so that you can rediscover your true authenticity and remember who you really are at the core, allowing you to shine bright, just the truest version of yourself. So with that said, my new offering has pivoted a little. I had a Midlife Reawakening 90-day coaching program, and that's available for somebody who wants to do that type of work, has a goal to accomplish and needs accountability and, setting goals in an action plan. We can certainly do that. But the focus of my work is going to be this Midlife Reawakening 6-week program, which actually I already have a client working on it. We've already done week 2. So what this program will help you with is to rediscover, reactivate, and reawaken your inner authentic woman. Peel back the layer society has placed on you to reignite your inner spark. Connect, rebuild your relationship with, and learn to trust your intuition again. Remember, accept, and own who you truly are. Rediscover and empower your own gifts. Clear blockages that are keeping you stuck. Work through your limiting beliefs. Create mindset shifts. And move forward in life with your soul purpose. This is a 6 consecutive weekly 60-minute sessions of energy clearing and intuitive guidance. The energy clearings include inner child work, dismantling social conditioning, healing past life wounds, healing repressed memories. And the final session is going to be meeting your higher self. The intention is that you clear these blockages so that you can move on with your life. And if you have special gifts of your own, that you learn and to use those again, that you empower yourself in using those again. But most importantly, you meet your higher self. You learn to trust your intuition and the messages that you're receiving for yourself. This is going to help you connect for yourself, and start trusting your intuition again. So if you're ready to let go of what has outlived its usefulness on your body, release blocks that are keeping you stuck, and live your midlife authentically fulfilled and in alignment with your soul purpose, I will leave the link in the show notes where you can sign up for this program. So now, the giveaway for the Modern Latina in Midlife's first anniversary, I am celebrating with a 30-minute Midlife Inner Makeover Giveaway. This is an energy healing for 30 minutes, like what we just discussed. This is an energy clearing with intuitive guidance. It's a $125 value. I've added the link in the show notes, and you will also find it on my Instagram bio at Modern Latina in Midlife so that you can enter to win this session. To qualify, you need to leave a rating and review on your podcast platform of choice, preferably on Apple Podcasts. Take a screenshot of it because you will need to send that to me. In the form, the giveaway form, there's a section where you can upload the screenshot. You sign up for the giveaway. So once you take the screenshot, you sign up for the giveaway at the link in the show notes or on my Instagram bio. And if you want an additional entry, you can tag a friend on the giveaway Instagram post. So that will give you an additional entry. And that's it. The giveaway closes on Monday, December the 4th, and the winner will be announced on Tuesday, December the 5th. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much, amigas. I share this episode with a friend. If you want to, try what this energy clearing and intuitive guidance feels like, sign up for the giveaway, the 30-minute giveaway. It gives you a really good idea. We'll have a chance to identify it and start working on something but we may not be able to go as deep as we do in the 60 minutes. It just really depends. Like I said, I had a client tell me in 5 minutes, she was like, boom, we got it. I know what it is. I can't believe it. So 30 minutes, really, we can do a lot in 30 minutes. So I'm really excited to introduce this to someone, to do this giveaway for as a token of gratitude for you for being here with me through this journey, and allowing me to share and to just speak my truth and this reawakening and transformation that I'm going through, and really I am enjoying, that I really truly am enjoying. And so thank you so much for being here. Share this episode with your amigas, share the giveaway with your amigas. um yeah, I look forward to talking to you. Thank you so much for being here. Hasta la próxima.